in the dry, windswept lands of Turkana, where the sun beats down with fierce intensity and dust devils dance across the plains, lived a young boy named Ikul. He shared a small traditional manyata near the town of Lodwar with his grandmother. Naboya life in Turkana was a daily test of resilience. Water was a precious commodity found miles away, food was often scarce, and each day was a new chapter in the book of survival. Every morning, long before the sun's rays grew hot and unforgiving, Ikul was awake. His small body was a whirlwind of activity. He'd begin by fetching water from the distant river, his shoulders straining under the weight. Then he would guide their small herd of goats to find whatever sparse vegetation they could, his watchful eyes scanning the horizon. Despite these demanding chores, Ikul never missed school. He would embark on a long walk, his feet kicking up the red dust of the path, his mind already thinking about the day's lessons. Some of the other children in the village would often laugh at his diligence. "Ikau, why do you work so hard?" They would taunt look at us. "We just rest and play. Life is meant to be enjoyed." But their words rolled off him like water off a duck's back. He carried his grandmother Nabwaya's wisdom in his heart. She would often tell him, her voice warm and steady, "My child, remember this. God blesses the hands that are willing to work." It was a simple truth, but it was the bedrock of his existence. One particularly sweltering afternoon, the schoolteacher made an announcement that sent a wave of groans through the classroom. A major test was scheduled for the end of the week. A test. They protested, already deciding to spend their evenings playing games instead of studying. Iko felt the same weariness as his classmates. His body ached from the morning's labor, and the thought of more work was daunting. But the image of his grandmother's knowing smile and the echo of her words spurred him on. Every evening, after his chores were done and a simple meal was eaten, he would sit by the small, crackling fire outside their hut. The flickering flames cast dancing shadows on the pages of his worn-out notebook. His eyelids felt as heavy as stones, threatening to close, but he would blink them open, focusing on the words and numbers. With each line he read, he whispered a quiet prayer. "Lord, please help me use what you have given me. Give me the strength to learn." The day the test results were announced, a nervous silence fell over the classroom. The teacher stood at the front, a stack of papers in his hand. He cleared his throat and called out a name, "Ikut." A few students snickered, expecting the worst. Ekel walked to the front, his heart pounding. The teacher placed a hand on his shoulder and addressed the class. "Ekel has done exceptionally well," he announced, his voice filled with pride. "This, children, is the fruit of hard work and discipline. This is what happens when you don't give up." A wave of surprise rippled through the room. The other children looked at Ekel, then at Enji Havone poor scores. They had all the same opportunities, the same lessons, the same amount of time. In fact, many of them had more strength and fewer chores. But they had chosen to waste their time, their energy, and their chance to learn. They saw now that ECL wasn't just working hard, he was investing in his future. The lesson didn't end there. Not long after the test, a severe drought tightened its grip on the region. The already scarce water sources dried up completely, and the land became parched and barren. Panic began to set in. Families who had lived day to day without foresight or preparation struggled immensely. Their livestock grew weak and many perished, but Eckel's small herd, because he had taken them to find fresh grazing and water every single day, without fail, they were healthier and more resilient. They had been cared for, and now, in this time of crisis, they were surviving. His grandmother, Nabwire, watched him one evening as he checked on the goats, a gentle, proud smile gracing her lips. "You see, my son," she said softly, "hard work today saves you from hardship tomorrow." That evening, as the stars began to pepper the vast African sky, Eckel looked up and offered a silent prayer of thanks. He wasn't just thankful for his good test score or for his healthy goats. He was thankful for the profound lesson he had learnt. He finally understood that hard work wasn't a punishment or a burden. It was a responsibility, a partnership with God. He realized that God doesn't bless laziness or idleness. Instead, He honors and multiplies the effort we put forth, especially when it's done with a faithful and willing heart. The story of ECHO teaches us a timeless truth. Hard work is a gift, a tool that God has given us. When we use it faithfully, even when we are tired, even when we face difficult situations, God takes our small efforts and uses them to bring growth, provision, and hope, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. It's a reminder that with faith and perseverance, we can turn scarcity into abundance and challenges into triumphs. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. We'll see you in the next video.